This is the 10-minute drill, and this week we're talking about the upcoming NFL draft. Hello and welcome. I'm Mike Cobb. With me today is Ledger sports writer Rick Brown. Rick will be joining us today, and he is our new Buccaneers beat writer. He's taking over the position that I've had the pleasure to hold for the last 10 years. And so, Rick, welcome and congratulations on your new job, your new assignment here. And I'm going to do the ceremonial handoff of the football, handing the Bucs beat, the NFL beat to Rick. It's all yours, baby. Take it and run with it. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, thanks. You know, the NFL is something I've really been passionate about ever since I was a little kid growing up watching the Skins. So this is going to be something special. So I'm looking forward to it. So thanks.
All right. Well, like I said, we're going to talk about the NFL draft today. We're coming to you today from the Ledger newsroom. You can see back here people at work. To our left is the sports department. We have the design desk over here. The news reporters are back behind the cameras. Life is back there. News desk and business over that way. So that's kind of a lay of the land of the newsroom. Rick, let's get into the NFL draft. Now, I think the best place to start is right here in Polk County. We've had, through the years, we figured out more than 60 players from Polk County have gone on to play in the National Football League, and this year we have, I think, 4 players that could add to that list. So why don't you tell us about them?
Well, definitely. You know, you have Miami's Lance Leggett. He's a wide receiver. He's from Bartow, although he went to high school, I think, his junior, senior year in Texas. You have Alex Boston, another Bartow guy who's up at Florida State, defensive end. Let's see, you have Tony Joyner up in Gainesville from Haines City. That was his nickname up there too, Haines City. Haines City. So he was a safety up there, played real well. A guy who not too many people probably know is from Polk County is Justin Forsett over at Cal. He's a running back at Cal, and his story is similar to Leggett's. Yeah, He played at Marbury his freshman and sophomore years, had played well, but went to Texas and went to finish out at Texas.
The family moved in that case, right?
Yeah, and then went over to Cal, but he's still a Marbury boy and he's still a Polk County boy. So those guys will have a shot this year. Leggett, because of his speed. Forsett, he's a short. He's like 5'8", but he's real.
Quick,
shifty, sort of like Jacksonville back Maurice Jones-Drew.
Right.
And so he's going to get a shot. Tony and Alex, they're going to get a shot, I believe, as well, because they have the intangibles. The thing is, they have to get a shot. Someone has to give them a chance. Alex came out of high school with a lot of credentials, and injuries slowed him down his first 2 years, but he's picked it up, and he plays a lot of different positions, but he'll be okay. Tony, he didn't have as strong a senior campaign as he wanted to this year. The thing with Tony, though, is, the thing held him back. He had a young secondary with him.
Right.
So
a lot of freshmen there.
A lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, a lot of young people, so he had to cover up for them. But they have the talent to, I think we're going to get 4 in this year.
Right. Now, all 4 of them will probably be second day picks.
Second day
third, fourth, fifth round.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe 7 rounds in the draft, so they probably should all 4 be in there somewhere.
I think so.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, talking about state players, let's move on to, a lot of players, probably close to 20 players from state colleges who have a chance to be picked. And that's state of Florida has always been a fertile ground for providing players to the NFL.
Indeed.
Year after year after year. Indeed. Florida State are among the leaders in the NFL in players produced. So who are some of the top guys this year? Maybe first and second round picks, you think?
You know, one of the guys who's going to surprise people is Mike Jenkins from South Florida. I think he has a chance to be USF's first round draft pick.
That's special.
Cornerback, yes. Cornerback, speedy. He has good range, good cover skills. Could be definitely a lockdown corner. I think he's really going to be the one who sets that bar. You have a couple.
Well, going back to Mike, sorry to interrupt, but
okay.
I've seen some projections where he's probably a top 10 pick.
I think he could be. It all depends on who's there, who's picking, who wants him, but definitely top 15. He's definitely going in the top 15. Right. I mean, he has that ability, and everyone loves speed. So and you know, you've been covering the NFL for years, so speed, everyone craves that speed. So, I mean, Mike Jenkins is definitely, he could be the first guy from the state of Florida picked. So, a couple other guys, Derek Harvey from defensive end from University of Florida. Rangy guy. I mean, he has a quick first step. He's not the biggest guy, but quick first step, able to get to the quarterback. And I think he can also go in the first round as well.
Andre Caldwell, too, possibly?
Because of his speed. You know, there's still some issues, not that many, but there's some issues about he broke his leg a couple years ago. So people are still a little leery, but he had a great season last year as a senior with Florida. And he's another sub 4.5 guy who can just scoot down the field. Good hands, good work ethic. Brother plays in the NFL, Riche. So I think he'll get a shot as well.
Okay, Miami, quickly, a couple guys from Miami that could be first rounders. Calais Caldwell, defensive end, and Kenny Phillips, a safety.
Calais Campbell, 6'8", 6'8" guy, tall, but cat-like quickness. He's not going to overpower anyone, but he's going to zoom. He's going to get back there. He's not going to overpower a big Jake Long or anyone like that, but he may get around him, so he's definitely going to be in the mix.
What about Kevin Smith up at UCF? Where do you see him going? He had a great career at UCF, set some records, and almost became the all-time leading rusher, just missed by a couple hundred yards.
You know, with Kevin, hard-nosed runner. I mean, he will run between the tackles. You know, people question his durability. I mean, he
carried
ran
like 45 times a game.
A lot last year, Mike. And in the NFL, how long can a running back take that abuse? So, and he doesn't have that real breakaway speed, but he hardly ever gets caught from behind either. So it's deceptive.
Kind of like another guy that had a pretty good career named Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, exactly.
Another Smith.
Indeed. How about that? So I really think that he's going to be a second day. Yeah, he might sneak into the second round, but it's probably a third rounder. And just because of, you know, the durability issue.
Well, let's move on to the Bucks. You're covering the Bucks now.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me what they need. It's on your shoulders now.
Playmakers, playmakers, playmakers. That's what they need. Everyone knows they need wide receivers. I mean, that's granted. But I don't think they're going to go wide receiver first round. And I'm going to tell you why, Mike.
There's not the impact guy there, is it?
That's one reason. It's not the impact guy. But, you know, since I don't think you get good value out of a wide receiver in the first round. See, I did some stats, did some
homework.
Did some homework.
Okay,
that's what you got to do. Yeah. Since 2004, 19 wide receivers have been selected in the first round. Okay, 19. Of those 19, only one has had more than 1,000 yards receiving in his first year. And you know who that is.
Michael Clayton from
Exactly.
the Bucks.
The only one of those 19.
Okay, now how many of those were picked by Detroit, though? I mean, don't you have to throw those out?
4, 5, something like that. But yeah, you can throw those out, definitely. Okay. Okay. Of those 19, only 6 have had 5 touchdowns or more. Okay, in that first season. And of those 6, 4 came out of the same class, the class of 2004, which Mike was in. And see, here, one more thing. Here's the average numbers of a first-round wide receiver: 35 catches, 545 yards, 3.5 touchdowns. Now, some would say, well, yeah, that's still an upgrade with the Bucs receivers. But I don't know, just value-wise, you want to do that.
That's what they're getting out of Ike Hilliard right now, and plus he's a veteran, so I'm kind of figure he's a veteran. You know, now they need help in the secondary, don't they?
Indeed, and that's where I think they're going to go. I think with Brian Kelly departing by free agency, they need corners, and there is a cornerback. There should be a cornerback available. If Mike Jenkins slips to 20, I think it's a no-brainer. You get him. I don't think he is, so I think. There's a Kansas cornerback, Aqib Talib, 6'2", another good cover guy. I think he only gave up 1 touchdown all of 2007 against. The thing is, he had a couple of off-the-field issues.
That never stopped the Bucs, though. Not lately.
Yeah, he tested positive for marijuana on multiple occasions, but he's one that you can slide into the system. He'll be a good cover 2 guy and get it done. So I think that's the way they should go. Now, they should go receiver with the next pick, I think. But
receiver, DB, maybe a linebacker.
Maybe a
if there's a good pass rusher out there. I mean, these are things where they'll look for.
With depth, yeah, but they only have 5 picks,
Right.
so they really can't.
They got to have to get value for their picks.
Definitely this
Right.
year, definitely.
Okay,
So.
let's move on here to real quick the rest of the draft. Quickly, give me your top 5.
Let's see. Chris Long from the University of Virginia. I think he's going to go to Miami. I think he can wreak havoc for a long time in the NFL. Jake Long, no relation, for a lineman from University of Michigan. I think he will go to St. Louis with the 2nd pick. The Falcons, they need a lot of things at number 3. I'm saying they're going Matt Ryan. I'm thinking I think they're going quarterback. D-Mac, Darren McFadden to the Raiders with the 4th pick, and Glenn Dorsey, I think, defensive end from LSU. I think he'll go to Kansas City. I think he can help them out a lot.
I like those 5 guys, but a different order.
Okay.
I like Jake Long, number 1 to Miami.
Wow, why Jake?
Well, the Dolphins are already talking to him. They need linemen badly. I like Chris Long, number 2 to St. Louis. I think Atlanta's going to go Darren McFadden. Get that running back, get that explosive running back. Number 4, first of all, the Raiders, you never know what they're going to do. But I think they're going to go Glenn Dorsey.
Okay.
And then Kansas City will go Matt Ryan.
Because they need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback, too. So
but they have 10 picks, too, so they have a lot of picks.
Right. But Ryan seems to be the quarterback in this draft. And if he drops to 5, I don't see Kansas City passing him up.
No, definitely not. I totally agree with that.
Okay, Rick, well, now it's time for one more thing. One more thing. Rick, you have 30 seconds. Any subject. What's on your mind?
All right, one more thing, Mike. I'm issuing a memo to all NBA teams and players. In the words of Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup winning coach John Tortorella, shut your yap. I mean, the Washington Wizards, Gilbert Arenas and Deshaun Stevens running their mouths about they won in the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 1st round, and LeBron James is overrated. What happened in Game 1? Scoreboard, Cleveland won. Same thing with the Dallas Mavericks and Dirk Nowitzki. Supposed to be a MVP, well, he is the MVP, and saying he wants to play the New Orleans Hornets instead of the Los Angeles Lakers because New Orleans is young and they match up better. New Orleans blew him out too. So, listen, guys, just take who you got, play who's on the schedule, and it just goes to show you, be careful what you wish for because you actually may get it.
Mike, shut up and play.
That's it?
Okay. Well, my one more thing is I'm really glad Warrick Dunn's back with the Bucks. It's where he belongs. He was such a fixture early on in the Bucks turnaround in the 90s. He became a crowd favorite. He's very influential in the community, a lot of good community programs with his Homes for the Holidays, and he's touched a lot of people in the Tampa Bay area. And it's good to see number 28 back in a Bucks uniform, and I'm really glad to see him get a chance to end his career where it began. So welcome back to Tampa, Warrick Dunn. That's it for this week. Rick, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks,
Next
Mike.
week, we'll have Roy Fuco on. We'll talk about what's happening in high school sports in Polk County. So thanks for joining us. Enjoy the NFL draft. All right, not NBA, NFL draft.